Hello, hello, and hello. Alright, we got that. And we gonna go here. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, and hello. How's everyone doing? Thank you for being here. Let me make sure. I want to know why all the phones keep getting turned down. Alright, so welcome. Thank you guys for being here. It's 9:15, or actually 9:20. So we're going to get right on into it. Welcome everybody. We're going to do the Surah Al-Fatiha first. And that is, in the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. All praises for Allah, Lord of all worlds, the most compassionate, most merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Guide us along the straight path, the path of those you have blessed, not those you are displeased with, or those who are astray. Alright, then we're going to do Psalms 91. And Psalms 91 is, whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadows of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rapport. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say the Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for He acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I've been on a run everywhere. It's been a lot happening. All right, first and foremost, let's discuss. So, several things that I have had to do today. Check people about projection. So, a lot of projection energy happening. Mind you, some of these people I don't even know, and I don't know why people feel like they have the liberty or the audacity to be able to think that they could, say something or think that it means anything and not being checked. Okay, so that's the first thing. Secondly, the other thing is this. Okay, fruit fly. Secondly, the other thing is this. Conversation, right? That interception are picking up. Y'all, something ain't right. And I'm going to just say this, and y'all do with this information what you will, because it can mean nothing or it can mean everything. So, it pertains to people setting up in locations, right? And interception of a conversation sounds like this. They know they supposed to or should have this person removed, but this person is kind of the protection for everybody else. Without this person in area or in play, everybody goes to jail. So what I'm gathering and what I'm listening to is that person ain't really the person running nothing, because there's somebody that's behind the scenes that's running something. But meanwhile, that it's like a puppet head. So that person being and then it's the other thing, like, nobody's challenging this particular entity or energy. So that's the reason why it's being kept in the location that it's being kept in, meaning in a seat of power. So whatever is happening, there's talks going down, right? Mind you, in my dreams, that's all I'm hearing is conversation, is chatter about, we know we can't keep this person in position this long because of the fact that the things that they're doing is not coming off right. But mind you, it is already like, it's weird. So this is what I'm gonna do. Golden Heart Bay, hi, welcome, thank you for being here. For some reason, I feel like I want to put you on mute already. So I don't know what type of energy you got or what you coming in with, but please, I welcome you here. But, be mindful that my first thought was to put you on mute because I was on my way over there. So please tread lightly. For everybody else, something is happening over there in that place that ain't right because, again, that person being the person that can protect everybody that would potentially fall down behind that and go to jail. Because if that person ain't there, they have no protection. If that person ain't there, they can't control. So do with that information what you will, but it is some chatter on the spiritual hotline about it because I was definitely listening to that in my sleep. Um, Also, we got the message says a second chance, wisdom, and alignment with God's will, growth, mercy, and a breakthrough. So there was a guy yesterday, and what he said was this. So I hope I actually saved it because it was actually kind of important. It was a very good prayer, is what he utilized and what he used, and pertains to this because we'll be talking about relationships and everything else. Let me see if he's here. I'm gonna turn this down real quick. Dun, 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 no, didn't save it. Anyway, it's a prayer that is going up for a second chance. And anything that God sent and you mishandled it, right? Do with that information what you will, because it comes in so many different areas of life. So, a second chance, wisdom, alignment with God's will, growth, mercy, and a breakthrough. So today's message for the collective is about a divine reset because that's what that is about. Asking God for something that you already had access to, but maybe you may mishandle it. It could be a job, it could be people, it could be Mike. Good morning, welcome, thank you, I love you. Period. So it could be all of those things. Not everything that fell apart was meant to destroy you. Some things were meant to reveal you, refine you, and realign you. So it's almost like the wheel of fortune. Like, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Or it's almost like the world card. You know, all the world is a stage, but the world is yours. Um, do with it what you have. It's your journey, it's your pathway. So everything not being meant to destroy you. Some things were meant to reveal you, refine you, and realign you. Why? Like, it's been a heavy. It could be fertility being as though that, the beginning of the year. And I told y'all yesterday, we're like 32 days technically into the new year, but we're 4 months. It's April, get ready to be May, almost 5 months into whatever their new year is. But it's this timeline running and this timeline running at the same damn time. But it's fertility because it keeps being a thing about sex. Mind you, it almost made me blush because the first thing that was said, and I'm just going to play the first line because, it gets a little vulgar from there. But the message is the message, and that's what it is because she wasn't wrong. Soon as I heard it, I'm like, okay, what are we up to over here now? I hope I saved it because I know I did save it, but where did I save it at? This young lady said, because I don't want to say the words out of my mouth. Okay, so I want to use her mouth because she said it. And she wasn't wrong. It was a real thing. Like, did it get deleted? Young lady, where you at? Please be here. Okay, here she is. Because I didn't want to say it. Whoever finna fuck you finna put power back into who you are. Power back into your cuckoo. Whoever finna fuck you finna put power back into who you are. Power back into your cuckoo. Yo hasn't had. This is the thing. You have literally been suffering since you were a teenager is what I'm hearing. But mind you, it was the first sentence. Like, whoever. Do with that information what you will, because it's given like that. So there's a quiet invitation from God right now. Come back with what you have learned. So remember, I gave y'all the story one time, and I said God told me not to do something, and I did it anyway, and then she laughed. I mean, that's why I said I want to use her, because she said it. She started off the right way. Like, soon as I heard it, I'm like, why do I keep hearing this? Why is this a thing? Why is it like? But mind you, it's about the connection. That's what brings the power. And, do with that information what you will, but it's the connection. So, not for nothing, also a part of spiritual chatter, right? I wrote this thing a long time ago, and it says, the hidden secret, the thing that they didn't want you to know. So it's like this argument that they want to have between men and women, right? Back and forth. But the greatest lie ever told was that we were supposed to be at odds. The greatest lie ever told was that we were supposed to be despising or hating each other. The greatest lie ever told that, it should be us pit against each other. Why? Because masculine and feminine together are what the power is. Why does this give me sex? Don't do that. So don't do that. But that's what it gives. It's more than sex. It's the actual connection. So this guy, and this is also another way, like it keeps giving sex. But mind you, it's the longing for this and the longing for that. Even on a petri dish, which is actually freaking, crazy and absurd. Did this guy? No, I didn't save it. Let me see. I think I did. All right. So this guy yesterday is explaining. He's doing an experiment on something scientific, and he's super duper hyped.
Okay, I'm excited about this. I've been wanting to do a quick recap of everything that's been going on in the last 2 weeks because it's been a wild ride. So 2 weeks ago, almost to the day, I had this specimen in my incubator escape its petri dish quite unexpectedly. It had plenty of food still in there and plenty of room to grow, but it escaped in a very targeted way. And initially I was quite confused until I immediately realized this specimen was directly under it and directly under the little leading edge that it had formed. It was clearly smelling this specimen, which they can do and they do typically do, but usually not quite this aggressively, and they don't usually leave their perfectly good container and perfectly good food sources.
All right, so I'm gonna speed it up because it's a long damn story. He got a specimen at the top, a specimen at the bottom. The one at the top is called top. The one at the bottom, he called it toppy. The other one at the bottom called bottom. Anyway, long story short, it's doing something that it has never done before, but it's also because of the time. What's happening is that the top one escaped its petri dish to now try to connect to the bottom one. The bottom one then escaped to try to reach the top one. He's saying this has never happened. It should not happen like this. Long story short, I'm going to speed it up to the middle.
Landing right here, and they are just an inch apart at this point. Here's the specimen, the body here, and toppy dropping down. They are so close. The anticipation was killing me as they were just getting just closer and closer. This was minutes before they fused, and you can see both of them are reaching out to each other in actually quite a sophisticated way. And I go into detail in a couple other videos about the strategy here of these offshoots, just trying to make as many connections as possible as quickly as possible after this first connection. This is fascinating. This is not something that we see often. Then there was finally this incredible moment of first contact where they touched and finally fused. This was fascinating to see, just an incredible moment, and I have a time lapse of it, which is just mind-blowing, but there are some intense things going on at this part where they need to synchronize, and you can watch it happen in the videos, and they kind of get excited, and you can see this pulsation. They literally have a pulse, and you can see the pulse quicken and they start like shivering as they're getting closer and closer to each other in anticipation of this fusion event. It was a fascinating and just astonishing moment.
Now he's excited off of a petri dish, just so y'all know, but also he's, science, and he's also saying that what is happening right here should not be going on. But remember, it's the time. So divine alignment, right? So energy doing the exact same thing. It's like right now, springtime, fertilization, fertile, but could also create this, right? The thing that I noticed about it was it looks like tree branches. It started to do the same exact thing.
Life-changing, truly, for me. So after fusing, body began growing very quickly to the point of there was even more actually off screen over there. This is how large the cell got after only just a few.
So after they come together, they get bigger, like they start expanding. Because separately they were what they were, but when they got together, they did something more miraculous.
Of me feeding them, it was just a very, very rapid growth.
Anyway, if you want to see it, it's on my repost, so go look at it because he's super duper hype. But the initial thing is, he says it should not have happened, but God does miraculous things. God is important in this situation and in this simulation because certain things are already predestined to happen the way that they're meant to happen. I said many times, the universe will adjust itself as many times as necessary and needed in order for it to put itself back into alignment. The universe, everybody being out of alignment, aka covenant, because everything that was happening, mind you, we got prophecy, aka Bible, biblical things playing out right now. Also, the distortion of the energy and everything else. Mind you, this thing went through heaven and high water, holes and everything else in order to get to the other one. Like one was just climbing and the other one was just trying to drop down and create extra cells and things of that nature to get to the one that was at the bottom. This man said he don't even know how they smelled each other. The universe. Y'all can take that as like, pheromones and things of that nature. All right, long story short, there's also something else happening because off to the side, there's a liquid that he has over there, and it never wants to go into the liquid, but somehow, some way, it's attracted to whatever the top section is. But one of the things that I have to also be mindful to tell y'all is water is important. If you never looked up or studied water, go look up and study water. It is very important because the power of life and death, which you speak into it, it can be programmed. So it's like you being programmed in, water. All right, so take it how it resonates. Right now, energy pulling. So do with that information what you will. But be mindful because even in the process of that energy pulling, it's other things that are trying to get in and contaminate and corrupt. And so he also will tell you about contamination and corruption because as he's opening the door, as the energy starts to do a thing, he's steadily, opening it, and air and moisture and some other stuff. After they did their thing, then there was something else that started to happen. So he had to now readjust. We learn the strangest things through the strangest things, okay? All right, so there's a quiet invitation from God right now. Come back with what you have learned. What have you learned? This is what a second chance actually looks like. Not going back as the same person. Not repeating cycles out of comfort. But moving forward with discernment, discipline, and a deeper trust. Mercy is present today. God is not holding your past over your head the way people do. Because people will hold everything against you. I don't want this because of that. Or you're not allowed to do this because of that. Mind you, it is like the way society is. But we got people asking us to do stuff as a representation or a representative of leadership. Mind you, they're not doing what they should be doing either, but they are asking you to do something. So you have to be mindful that there is a lot of corruption, and like he said, aka what is it, basically corruption of the system, along with the energy being this. So you got the energy of you and masculine energy, feminine energy, or just the pull of what y'all energy could be doing with each other, and then the corruption of outside energy, outside forces. So be mindful. But what have you learned? So God is not holding your past over your head the way people do. Where there is a genuine growth, there is grace. Where there is humility, there is access. You're not being asked to be perfect, just willing and aligned. Are you willing? Are you willing to let God use you? Are you willing to be in a, whatever this connection is, or this partnership, or this experience, or this experiment, whatever it is, okay? So take it how it resonates. All right, so Wisdom is your upgrade this season. Wisdom is your upgrade. But remember, we talked about it. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Knowing what to do, when to do, and how to do it is also important. Because, some will say that I have this, I have wisdom, but not know, whatever else that goes along with it. Knowledge or understanding. Take it hot, resonate, because we already went over all of that stuff too, because everything is important at the same damn time. Because blessing without wisdom becomes burdens. It's also when you ask for something, know that there's work in it. You have to do something. Yesterday, it's like the universe showing you, teaching you how the universe works. So I go outside yesterday, and I'm like, my basil has grown back every year. But this is the thing. My basil has grown back every year without me doing anything other than I have to make sure that I knock the trees down, the old trees, it's like little vines or stems. I have always knocked them down and put them back into the dirt, gave it back to the dirt at the end of the season. For some reason, I don't know why, maybe for this time, because God does strange things to let us know, how life works. I didn't put the stems back into the ground. I just let them be where they were because I'm thinking, they done grown back ever since I have put them there, they have grown back. I've never had to do anything. Not realizing that I was doing something. I was putting the old stems back into the ground to reproduce. So this year I go outside and I'm looking and I'm like, why my basil ain't grown back yet? Because mind you, the basil will be here the whole entire time. Like, because I'm in Georgia. So Georgia, and y'all know the seasons are like warm and whatnot. So the stuff will basically just grow at any given time, right? So I'm looking at it, I'm like, my basil didn't grow back. And that's weird because for the past couple seasons, it's been years, like 3 or 4 years, it just grows all on its own. I haven't done anything. So then I noticed what you didn't do was what you normally do, which is something. You go and you turn it over back into the ground and then it just grows. So yesterday I'm outside. I'm like actively, okay, let me go and turn it over because one thing about herbs, they grow really fast. So it don't matter, and as long as it's warm, it's gonna grow back, right? So I go outside and I take and I turn it over in the dirt. So I got 3 buckets that normally would automatically sprout on its own. And this is the other thing, like onions and garlic never really need anything. Like they just be growing year round. Like I don't ever have to do anything to it. So there is though something that should be done because then I noticed that some of the stems were a little bit yellow, but then I noticed that it hasn't been raining. So then I'm thinking, well, you didn't give it water, but mind you, some of the onions still look great and everything else. So I go out there and I'm like turning the stuff over in the dirt. So as I'm turning the stuff over in the dirt, now I accidentally didn't realize that there was a bird's nest that has embedded itself inside of. I'm going to start my garden this weekend. It's going to be beautiful, Mike. You're going to love it. So now I done picked up a bird's nest and turn the bird because I'm getting ready to bury all the old stuff. I'm trying to just shove it in the ground, not realizing that this is a whole bird's nest. Then birds start falling out. Now I'm over here like in a panic, like, oh my God, what did I do? Because of course I want to be, living with nature and they sound so beautiful out there. So now I'm trying to figure out what to do. Now I'm in a panic because now these baby birds then fell out and the mama bird is somewhere over here and now I done messed up the nest, but I'm trying to, do what I thought I was supposed to be doing. Anyway, long story short, I hope that they come back because I did fix it and I gave them some, food and whatnot outside, some little bird crumbs, and I sprinkled the nest with a bunch of stuff to let them know, like, my bad. I didn't mean it. But also, you have to do something. There's something that you have to do. You have to at least give it some type of attention. So I learned a very valuable lesson yesterday because, God's saying I will provide and I will give it to you, but you got to do at least something. You can't just think that, okay, it's going to just turn itself over because you got to give the stems back to the earth in order for it now to produce again for you. So you got to give it back to God. All right. So I learned that lesson yesterday. Um, And for all intents purposes, I love that because now I know better. Okay, and then on top of that, me actually posting it, another lady said, "Thank you for telling me because now I know what to do." See what I'm saying? It's a learning lesson. So God is not holding your past over your head like the way other people do. Just so you know, there's where there's genuine growth, there's grace. Where there's humility, there is access. You're not being asked to be perfect, just willing to be aligned. That's it. Wisdom is your upgrade this season. Before you may have just prayed for the blessing, now your spirit is learning. Before you may have prayed just for the blessing, now your spirit is learning to pray. Give me the wisdom to sustain what I receive. It's the wordage, the verbiage also. Remember I said we got to know what we're asking for. We got to ask the right question. And so give me the wisdom to sustain what I receive. Because this time I want to be able to take care of it, know how to handle it, what to do with it. Like asking for something. Sometimes we ask for things that we're not ready for. And we have to know ourselves, like, what we want, how we want it, but also, are you ready for that? Like when I told y'all I took 5 years, this will be my 5th year, right? Learning myself before I said I wanted to, be involved with anybody, marry anybody, or any of that. Like, I needed to know me. But I felt like that was more important because of the fact that a lot of times, right after I get out of one relationship, I'm right into another relationship since I've been 13. And I've never had enough time to take care and see, like, what do I really like? What do you really want? And not to say 5 years might, just be enough, but some people may need longer, take longer, but also it's that thing, that energy that is saying you're going to grow more when you get in this connection. You're going to learn more. Are you going to be open to learn more? Are you going to be, are you ready? Are you aligned for the thing that you asked for? And that's important for us to know. And only we have the answers to it. He said, "Oh, I enjoy having it. It's not my first garden." Oh, period. I know that's right. So, give me the wisdom to sustain what I receive, because blessing without wisdom becomes burdens. Growth may feel emotional right now, and it is, because even with the little lessons, like, you may find yourself feeling, a little bit of a ways. You know what I'm saying? Golden Heart Bay, you know what I mean? Whatever it is you ask for, you may be feeling a little emotional behind it. But you heard what she said, it's going to bring power back into it. Because you may be powerful all by yourself, but again, when it's the connection and it's the right connection, it is more than amazing. Hey, Chico, I see you over there. So know that conviction instead of confusion. That's why I said the right thing, when the right thing is on the way, so is the wrong thing, because as above, so below. But this time having discernment to know what's the right thing and what's the wrong thing. Clarity instead of chaos. The right thing comes with clarity, not chaos, not confusion, not trying to move in the shadows, not trying to, linger in hallways and dark rooms and this, that, and the third. Not trying to, it's a way where it is sacred, not secret. It's a thing. I pull to let go of what once felt normal. So I've been seeing it. I'm always telling y'all all the time. A person that has never gone through something can't really teach you anything, right? So with that being said, a person saying they can teach you how to be in a long-term marriage, but they've never been in one. How you gonna teach somebody something that you ain't never done? A person teaching you how to deal with people or how to associate with the opposite sex or anything, how they going to teach you that if they've never done it? How you going to teach me how to have $1 billion or a trillion dollars, whatever that word is, trillion, or more, if you've never done it? Thank you, Chico. If you've never done it. So people will say that, oh, I can show you this. You can't show me shit if you ain't never done it. You can't tell me about the dark night of the soul if you never went through it. You can't tell me how, to rent a house, own a house if you never done it. you can't tell me something that you've never done. So we have to be mindful about the people that we also talk to. And that's not saying that we can't talk to the other people, because we can talk to them too, because there's lessons in everything. But the connection, the partnership, whatever you could potentially get ready to get into next, be mindful of who you let speak over your situation. Because a lot of people, it's like a bunch of people, single women will tell you, oh girl, leave them, girl, leave them. Meanwhile, when they get a man that be doing them way worse than your man could ever, or your woman, so take it how it resonates, has ever done you, they never leave them. Person be trash, and they done told you a gazillion times to leave this person or this situation, and mind you, they get with somebody that treats them way less, and they stay. Be mindful of who you talking to in this season, because we talking about going to God about it. God giving you a second chance, and then you talk to people about it. You better always remember that this was your second chance, and you best to go to God about it. So no matter what we're talking about, because this could be work, like I said, it could be anything that you could now be, on your hands and knees talking to God about, and you asking for a second chance at something, and then God comes around and gives it to you. It could be as simple as even you mishandling something. God gave me a house, right? And I mishandled it because I allowed somebody to come in when I should have known from the beginning, as soon as that person started with the weird energy, that shouldn't be here. It could be as simple as that. It could be as simple as you getting a car. You haven't had a car for forever and a day, and you've been praying about this car. God, please give me a car. Please give me a car. I promise that when I get a car, I won't ride these niggas around, because these niggas ain't come get you the whole entire time you done had a car. Ain't nobody did nothing. And then all of a sudden, God now gives you a car. And the first thing you do is go pick up the same niggas that you just promised God you wouldn't pick up. It could be as simple as your first apartment, your second apartment. God, I mishandled my first apartment. You asked me, you told me that, you would give this to me. It don't matter what it is. It can be down to the most minute thing. You ask God for a second chance, God granting you one. Here it go. What did you learn? And sad to say, a lot of people are going to fail. That's the sad part. Because it's a thing, like, that something, is designed or meant, or, and it may be, however, you know what I mean? You prayed about it, or you wanted it to come, or because a lot of people don't realize that here, and a guy said it yesterday, and I don't know if I got him, but he said that, matter of fact, I think I do got it. This is the guy that created, fuel. Oh, I hope I did get to keep him. He created fuel, and he said he didn't patent his stuff, and he gave the reason why. Mind you, this dude, I don't know how much money he got, but he created a way to be able to start cars and things.
I have an entire top of a building completely to myself. I'll be the first to admit, I don't own this, I don't rent this, I can't afford this, and to be completely honest, I never would buy a penthouse because I'm putting everything I have into my work. How many times do we hear influencers try to convince you that making a material thing and material success can be the purpose for you in a world when you were given a purpose by God and you're not even material yourself? How about I tell you this?
I be saying the same thing. I'm not material myself. Like, when people talk about cars and things of that nature, like, I like, the coverings of my house, things of that nature. But, like, I'm not material in itself. So I love the fact that he said this.
I believe that materialism is the matrix. I believe it's all a big psychological operation and trap, to where those without means are convinced that by having means you will feel happy and solve internal problems and internal insecurities and such. And by the time you spend your entire life chasing consumption and wealth, you get it just to figure out that, you know what, at some point, taking a dive in a pool on top of a building after you do it 1,000 times, feels the same. There's a reason why.
And that is true. Like, people fail to realize, like, after you get something that you've been trying to conquer, like, after you do it 1,000,000,000 times, it feels like everything else. But God.
I told you all, I don't care about generational wealth. I care about there being a generation.
Period. I don't care about the generational wealth. I care about it being a generation, because the way these people are going, generational wealth is going to take them to hell. They don't care about the generation. Like, I care about the people being able to exist. He ain't never fucking lied.
The reason why I told you I'm not patenting my technology. I did not have to be here and get to this point to figure out that this is a trap, if this is all you're looking for and looking to achieve. But many of us feel that way because that's a narrative pushed by all types of media.
Conditioning.
Money is some escape from the system and the matrix, as if we forgot that money is the system and money is the matrix. Who makes the money? Materialism is the matrix. And you thought, oh, you could just buy yourself out of the trap and buy yourself freedom, but all you did was buy yourself out of the hamster wheel to figure out that you were inside of a maze.
And he is not lying, because if you think about it, from the time when we saying human beings have been here for over 200 to 400,000 years, the biggest thing that they have continued to keep pushing is consumerism, and that is driving us into non-existence. That's what that's going to do.
Anything that you're building outside of yourself, or you forsake the internal building of yourself, is the trap, is the matrix, because you are not your body. You are not this world. And all of this is what we were told to mean something, so we could be distracted from what actually means everything, which is something that we will have since we were born. All about an internal perspective of gratitude that could have been applied the minute you were born, that could have been applied with or without anything external. And without that internal place of gratitude, no matter what you have outside of you, you've grown a tree from the outside in instead of the inside out. So anyways, besides that tangent, I'm driving back to Atlanta now, to my actual house. Inside of my minivan with 300,000 miles on it. And I'm completely content and completely happy with that, because I'm on a mission and a purpose. So right now I have an entire time.
Like, he said it so well, and to a person that's materialistic, it's going to go over their head. Like, people fail to realize a lot of people be having a lot of stuff but don't have the key components, like love in their heart or things of that nature. You could be materialistic and not be a good person. And then after you get all of that stuff, you still realize you ain't shit. You're still not a good person. Do with that information what you will. So it's great to, experience love. It's great to experience God. It's great to experience family. It's great to experience. But, some people will, sell their experience for wealth, money, or whatever that is, and it gives me that because what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? But and Scarface, who do I trust? Me. That's who. Why? Because outside of me, we don't know what all these other people are, or all these other situations are, because we have people that are in leadership right now, and I'm telling you, something is happening, because the stuff that they're publicizing ain't even the half. Now, just imagine, they're saying that they had to lock this person out of a situation room, which is where the person that's leading the, free world or the country should actually be, but they don't have enough self restraint to not actively try to destroy mankind. Mind you, all of this is over money. So a person would rather destroy the whole entire world rather than try to do the right thing. They're not good people. So do with that information what you will. A pull that let go of what once felt normal. That's not loss. That's transformation. It is crazy. Like it don't sound crazy. It is crazy. And mind you, I'm telling you, and I'm just in my dreams and in my sleep, I'm hearing conversations that are happening. And the reason why, because they know that they should do something with this person, but they're afraid that they're all going to go to jail. That is their buffer. That man is their buffer between doing the right thing and jail. But it sounds like they already know the right thing to do. Why I was listening to that or why that was playing out in my brain, I don't know. But literally, actively, that's what I'm hearing. Mind you, and just so you know, the next person that's coming up behind them, we're not going to accept them either. And that's the thing. They already know it. Mind you, the people over here, the other side of the catalog, like everybody has to be replaced. If anybody wants to keep this system in place, everybody has to be replaced. But then it has to also be a system whereas if you don't do your job, your ass is fired. Not next month, not next week after the vote, after the poll. No, you gotta go. That's the only way this system gets to stay, because that's the only way it's gonna work. If you're not doing what you need to do, but mind you, there's so much corruption, like down to this side, down to the people that's over there that is working on, like it's entirely too much corruption. And so, mind you, let's think about even in the areas where other people had started to take over, right? So if we talk about, other locations and they had to do a coup, right? What they talk about, and the military stepped in. These niggas ain't even like knowledgeable enough to even step in. Like, think about all the people that they done put in play. All the good people that would have been around the adults that could actually, like, kind of run this country, then got fired. Or they quit. There is nobody that's going to save it. And the people that could save it are, the people that actually got their foothold in this situation now. They made it so that everybody was so corrupt. And this is the part where I keep saying it's your pathway. Your pathway is your pathway. Their pathway is their pathway. So when everybody was being corrupted, there was a moment in time where they could have said yes or no. When they could have said, I'm not this, and I can't be here. But you know what they're threatened with? Their life, their livelihood. Because if you say no, and now you already know what we done, because we done already gave you the play, you won't be here tomorrow. So now we have to, actively ask God to intervene, because at this moment in time, like, God, whatever you're going to do, take them all at once. Or otherwise, it has to be what it has to be. Like, it has to be a whole active clashing of the titans for real, because then we got to get them gone. Because as of now, the whole system is corrupt. And whoever wanted to pull the strings made sure of it. So once we tell you, once you're in, now you're one of us. And actively, once you do the deed, so now there is no good ones. There ain't no good ones. So whether or not y'all realize it or not, ain't no good ones, because actively this person wouldn't been allowed to go this far if they wasn't letting them. Because some people could have already been able to pull the strings, but they didn't. How you are afraid of a nigga that's 9,000 years old? What do they got on you that makes you so afraid? Mind you, actively, I told you, even in Judges, like, even if you go look at the Bible, like, the Bible literally then is like a prophecy. But that's why I also say the things that I say about the Catholic Church, because they have actively removed things that we needed to know. And the person that's there right now is now starting to have some backlash for some things that they have done. But something ain't right to the tune of everybody was corrupt. Like nobody thought that, it went on the first signal, like let's ring the alarm on this person being this. No, somehow they got everybody just to go along with it, like lay down and go along with the mess. So how do we get a corrupt system back from out of the hands of, mind you, other countries that deal with them? We starting to hear shit about the people that's supposed to be in the UN, that's supposed to be helping everybody. They corrupt. So how are we gonna literally take back or make it so that God's people are in control the right way? Mind you, then I listened to another story today, and it makes sense, and it's sad to say, but it made me instantly think of the Bible. But the funny part is that God always wins, even when people are corrupt and not thinking that God is paying attention. So this is what was being said, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Do with this information what you will, but listen with your spiritual ears.
What if Adam realized that the being he called God was actually the devil? This isn't me just being edgy for clicks. This is straight from a banned ancient gospel called the Apocalypse of Adam, and it was hidden for over 1,500 years because its message was that dangerous. Why? Well, because in this version, Adam doesn't just eat from the tree of knowledge. He remembers where he came from and uncovers a secret about what you and all of us really are. But most terrifying of all, he discovers what God really is. And the moment he realizes the truth, everything goes to hell. But this isn't just about Adam and Eve. This is also about Noah, the flood, and the dark deal he made with God in secret to control the world. And it exposes a war between light and darkness that's happening right now. Adam also reveals that there's someone coming, a being more powerful than the God of the Bible, a being that's so dangerous that the rulers of this world have been desperately trying to erase him, a being called the Illuminator. So if you ever had that sneaking suspicion that the Garden of Eden felt a little off, congratulations, you're onto something. But before we get to that, before I tell you what Adam actually saw, you need to ask yourself this one thing. Why would the first human believe that the one who created him was actually his enemy? And if Adam was right, then who the hell has the world been worshipping this whole time? Now picture this, it's 1945, and buried near the tombs of Egypt, a dusty jar is uncovered, and it contains secret books. And within these books is a text that's so subversive that it didn't make it into your Bible. It's called the Apocalypse of Adam. So what is the Apocalypse of Adam? Well, in short, it's like a secret history of the world, as told by Adam after getting a serious wake-up call. Now, this ancient Gnostic text that was likely written between 50 and 150 CE claims to be Adam's final revelation to his son Seth. Now, the Gnostics were an early group of Christians, and they believed the entire world was a prison of illusion ruled by a fake God. See, for the Gnostics, the story of Adam and Eve wasn't about disobedience, it was about an escape attempt. Essentially, what this book reveals is that mainstream religion is the longest running scam in cosmic history. The Apocalypse of Adam is like Adam's last will and testament, except instead of property, he's leaving behind forbidden knowledge. Knowledge about who God really is, and that the flood isn't what it seems, and a mysterious being known as the Illuminator. So, the question is, are you ready to hear Adam's side of the story? So imagine this, Adam is old, not just old, but ancient. Nearly 700 years have gone by since he first walked in Eden. And now he calls for his son Seth, and there's something that he wants to tell him, something that's buried.
And just be mindful that Adam died at 930, okay? So at 700 years is when he started telling him this.
Deep in his heart for centuries. So Adam speaks and says, "Listen to my words, my son Seth. When God had created me out of the earth, along with Eve, your mother, I went about her in a glory which she had seen in the eon from which we had come forth." So this is the moment where everything gets turned upside down, because Adam is saying that God just created their bodies, but that he and Eve actually came from somewhere else entirely. They were brought here, and Eve, she remembered. She looked around and was like, hold on, this place sucks. Eve basically went from...
Don't this place really suck?
living in Rivendell to Motel 6. She knew that they had fallen, and she knew that the one who had placed them here, the one who called himself God, was not the true God, but a satanic being of darkness. Now, this was a bigger plot twist than Luke figuring out his dad was Darth Vader. In the text, Adam says, "She taught me a word of knowledge of the eternal God." Now, not the false dark God who created this world, but the actual eternal God, the one above him. Adam and Eve weren't just human. They were something else, something more, something higher, and they weren't supposed to be here. And we resembled the great eternal angels, for we were higher than the God who had created us and the powers with him whom we did not know. Now, Adam is saying point blank, we were above the God who made us. Now, how is that possible? How can a creation be more powerful than the creator? Well, remember, when Adam says created us, he just means their bodies, not their mind.
So that would also essentially mean that we were the light body, our light body. And so when they would be telling the story about you ate from the tree of knowledge and all that da 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 da, is when you got put into a human body and got sent here.
Minds, not their souls, just their meat suits. Adam and Eve weren't just dirt creatures zapped to life like some kind of biblical Frankenstein. No, they began as divine beings of light in a higher realm above the God of the Bible. But this so-called creator, he wasn't the true God. He was something lesser, a ruler of this world, but not the one above all things.
And just so y'all know, there's also a text, which also, the reason why I'm saying to listen with your spiritual ears, there's a text that says, when I said we don't know that this is all a test and that this is where, you know, this person, the Satan that they would be talking about, was allowed to be able to test us in a way in order for us to either go into the next realm, which is like the one where we, you know, would be at and it would be all good and everything else, or to test your spirit and everything else, and then you would go into the abyss. So this makes a lot of sense to me, only because I've also heard the other text that they put out that they took that says this ain't nothing but a test. They asked to be able to test us to make sure that we didn't get sent into the other realm and not really be worthy of being there. The same, like it talks about your pathway here. Like you could go through the same exact lesson as somebody else, the same exact pathway as somebody else, and your options and your choices would be something different. And so, just because a person says, I can give you all the money under the sun if you come over here and work for the wicked side, you have a choice, even if it is considered losing your life to do it. And it would be better for you to lose your life at that moment in time than to pursue whatever it is they telling you. That is already stated. Mind you, I keep saying that it's a lot of gems and jewels that's already given that they're telling us, and nobody wants to lose their life at this moment in time because you came along with your wicked ass, and now you try to put me involved in your situation. Like, but right now we're being put in a situation. He said there's a guy on YouTube that talks about this and breaks it all the way down. Like that's exactly it though. That's what I'm saying. So when I was saying that, this is the reason why, it's almost because this is what I already heard before, and mind you, it's in a text, and they keep taking stuff and removing stuff, and then here we are with only half of the information.
Them in material bodies. And the moment he realized Adam and Eve were starting to figure this out, he lost it. Adam says, "Then God divided us in wrath." He basically tore them apart. But this isn't just about Adam and Eve being separated. No, Adam is revealing something that no one wants to talk about. Adam and Eve were originally one being, neither male nor female, a single divine entity, a unity.
See what I'm saying? And that is also the same exact thing, where it works together, masculine and feminine. This is the reason why the energy is always going to pull, because it belongs together. And then they separated it.
Perfect being of light and knowledge. And this God, he was pissed, so what did he do? He ripped them in two. Not just physically, but spiritually as well. This is why Adam says, "Then we became two eons." He divided them because united they were powerful, united they were divine, but separated they were weak, lost. And the worst part is they forgot. The glory in our hearts left us.
And you heard what even the girl said. It makes you strong. When you're in divine alignment and connection and covenant, the true living God, spirit God, like the God, the one God, before they started creating this, and this, because human beings have been here for so long, and only less than 8,000 years ago did they start coming with all of this stuff. But mind you, God, one God, will always make sure that we win if we pay attention, because it's there. I'm literally watching that girl. It was a video this morning, the girl Shakana, and she was trying to take and anoint this boy's head, and he taller than her. Shakana little looked like on the video. Anyway, so she over here saying, is Jesus, you don't believe that Jesus died for your sins, that Jesus is God, something, something, something. So the dude telling her, like, he keeping her hands down, like, I'm not gonna let you put that on me. And it's like she's trying to force him. But mind you, so I made a comment, and I normally, like I told y'all, I've been making comments on people's stuff right lately, because, like, bitch, why is you doing that? You not listening to what he trying to tell you. So he leans down, he whispers something to her. But mind you, so then I said, why y'all keep believing Jesus is God? Like, Jesus, even in the text, like, it be people, it's 2026, but it's people not reading the text. It's three separate things, because I put all three of them there, where Jesus himself says he's not God. It's almost like you willfully is not wanting to listen. So it's like when the man up there keeps saying, my friend, this dude over here manipulated the numbers, and that's how I won. And then people will still be saying, if you didn't vote for him, it didn't matter who voted for him or not. I mean, it matters, because we like to know, where you are in the grand scheme of things. But the fact of the matter is the man is telling y'all he stole it. But for some reason, that keeps going over people's heads. It's almost like a person can tell you the truth and y'all don't listen. You got to be able to hear. You got to be able to comprehend. That's why it say knowledge, because blessings without wisdom becomes burdens, because you asking for something, the truth, and then meanwhile you don't want to accept it or receive it. He said it 3 times. I ain't God. But meanwhile, y'all still out here calling this man God. He done already told y'all. He gave y'all the truth. Y'all not listening. So now you out here just worshiping idols, and y'all don't care that y'all out here worshiping idols. But he said it himself. Now, that don't make him less important, because that's not what I'm saying. It don't make him less important. It just makes him, he said he ain't God. So he's still important to the simulation, because he still came, he still helped you, he still, was a prophet, still da-da-da-da-da, whatever the, I ain't judging, but y'all don't like to listen. People are so programmed and not go against what they were told is crazy. Yes. But meanwhile, not realizing you can already let this person lead you right down to hell, but the dude ended up telling her, like, no, I'm not going to let you do that. And then I'm reading the comments, and some people said you got to be careful who you let lay hands on you, which is actively true. Because y'all fail to realize, like, at some point in time, you gotta read it for yourself. You have to read it for yourself, because in my mind, it's always like you start going to church when you're young, because they take you when you're young, and then it's almost like you're indoctrinated from the very, very start, and then you're only regurgitating things that they have said over and over and over again, not even realizing that they're even changing it as it's going along. Just like the man said yesterday when he came up with the whole fact, Constantine was a black man, right, is what he's saying. And then he's like, and mind you, he gave it, but he was wrong. But also in the Bible, the prophecy, because when there's the lie being told, so is the truth. God is basically saying, even in the book, when God be narrating himself, says that y'all are going to be hard-headed. Y'all are not going to be listening. Y'all are going to institute pagan stuff along with the covenant stuff, and it's not going to fly, because you can't do that over here. And y'all going to be slaves as long as you don't listen and as long as you don't pay attention. And so, again, that's why I said the debate about religion, I don't want to have with nobody, because once I start already knowing where you at with it, we don't need to argue about it. All I need to know is show me in the text where it said this, and this is what it says in the text. He said, facts. This guy asked if he could pray for me, and I told him no thanks. Yeah, because like, I'm not going to allow you. If me and you don't agree on something, that's cool. We don't have to. But I'm not going to allow you to pray over me in a way that now you try to get me in covenant with you, because I don't want to be in covenant with you. You believe what you believe, I'm going to believe what I'm going to believe, and I'm still going to know that it's only one God, the God before everybody came along talking. And why was it that for hundreds of thousands of years, everybody got along until this part got here that now started to create corruption? Like, God is not confusion. If you got to argue about it, you should see that there's something in it that says, but it's always the narrative. She was trying to force him into something. And he should have took that as his cue as well. Like, me and you not aligned as far as what God is concerned, or, you believe what you believe. I don't want to press on with that. It's like being in a relationship with somebody. This person believed this person believed that. And then meanwhile, you want this person to go with you to this, but I don't believe that. And you don't have to. And neither do I. But it's the thing where they come kill, steal, and destroy. They will battle you to the death. Why gotta be that? Why you can't just go over there with your people and I'm gonna go over here with my people and we could be good? I don't gotta ever cross paths with you ever again. I'm cool. But anyway, you asked for a second chance. God giving you a second chance at something. Conviction instead of confusion. Clarity instead of chaos. A pull to let go of what once felt normal. That's not loss, it's transformation. Breakthrough is closer than it feels, but not just doors opening, it's about being ready when they do. Ready when they do. Ready when they open. Ready when the information is there. Being accepting of somebody telling you the truth. When Jesus said what Jesus said, why y'all not accepting of the truth? Why y'all still trying to force this man to be something that he told you he not? Why you still trying to be force people here on earth to be something that they already told you that they aren't? Let's normalize and listening to people and allowing them to be what they told you that they are. Alignment check for today. Are your choices matching what you've been praying for? So are your choices matching what you've been praying for? Are you moving in faith or repeating fear? Are you honoring what God showed you the first time? Mind you, this the thing. Like, even if you don't know, let's ask. Like, let's ask God. God, can you please show me? Like, I don't really want to be confused in this situation as to who's who, what's what, and what's going on in this simulation. But if you keep having me trying to argue against, the counterpart, but also you keep having the counterpart keep trying to be like an apex predator on my ass, like, I'm going to have to be inclined to, but that's the way it's set up. Can you imagine when two people, two energies, two entities, masculine and female, are together the right way, the amount of power they could bring, they could change the whole entire world. But meanwhile, it is always trying to put you against, somebody, or that could be the thing where it's telling you that's the wrong one. Because now the women are to the point where they're saying, have y'all ever noticed that the, predator, that we keep wanting attention from our main predator? And that's true, but it's also not. It is the wrong alignment with the wrong entity and with the wrong energy. And then you got to remember, some of these people ain't really people running around here. Some of these people are like, just the skin suit that they told you about. Ain't got no spirit in it, ain't got no soul in it. And the spirit that's in it is not a good one, not a positive spirit. It's a negative spirit. But have you ever noticed how they always try to make it like on this realm? It's always the woman is the negative, the masculine is the positive. Put the man above the woman, put the woman lesser than. Why is that when the power comes from them both in agreement, and they always continue to keep wanting to reach out to each other? So that should tell you that that's one of the greatest lies ever told. But meanwhile, we keep perpetuating the lie because we keep arguing amongst each other because they keep wanting to make y'all gay. And I ain't got nothing against it, but guess what? Something ain't right with it if in fact that they want all the men to their self. I don't know what to tell y'all. But even from way back when, they keep saying, "Oh, let us take the person." That person could be a guest from another city, but mind you, the Bible is saying that they keep wanting to do manhunts on you. Come in here with a fresh new butt, and they want to touch it. Like, why is that always the narrative? It happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. It happened with the Levite and the Benjamites. It keeps being a thing. And mind you, I'm gonna just let y'all know right now. Them people over there, in that location that wants to argue and everybody, it gotta be the Benjamites, because they is like a gypsy, like gypsy energy. That's what it gives. And so it gotta be them. Because if you go through and you see what it says, when the Benjamites, when the Levite, which is children of Israel, part of the covenant, one of the 12 tribes, when he goes over there, he sits inside of the foyer area, or whatever they call it back there, the area that's, you go in. And so he sits there because he's waiting for a person to come in to greet him, because that's what you're supposed to do to, a fellow brethren. You're supposed to greet them, bring them into your home, wash their feet, give them some food and shelter and all of that. And meanwhile, nobody from the actual children of Israel did it. Why? Because the Benjamites had started to be just like the regular other people. They started to worship, pagans and deities and all types of other stuff that God told them not to do. And then when the outsider that ain't even a part of the family lineage took them into the house, all of a sudden it's a band of they call them whatever the hell they call them, start with a G, I think. Them people show up at this man's door, trying to bang this man's door down to get the Levite dude up out of there because they want to touch his butt. Instead of him doing that, the man says, "You can have my daughter and my and this lady, this concubine." Mind you, they done translated concubine, because over here concubine mean hoe. That's what it gives me every time I hear it. But clearly they didn't translate it properly, because the word that they actually called it was a different word. Mind you, all of this stuff is here. We already had this. Another word, mind you, the lady comes from an actual family that had a name. They done threw this lady out the door. These people done raped her all over the whole entire night. And then what ends up happening is they take her home, cut her body up, and sends it to the 12 tribes. Excuse me. And then that now creates a whole beef and argument. But mind you, now you arguing with the family because you're not doing the right thing. So do with that information what you will. But are your choices matching what you've been praying for? Are you moving in faith or repeating in fear? Are you honoring God, what God showed you the first time? Because this time you will handle it differently, or you should be trying to handle it differently. So, God, thank you for mercy I didn't earn, and wisdom I'm now ready to carry. Align my heart, my mind, and my steps with your will. This time I will steward the blessing well. Your second chance isn't delayed, it's being prepared properly. And you have to make sure you're taking care of it. So whatever you're praying God for, whether or not it be a house, whether or not it be a job, whether or not it be a move, whether or not it be your spouse, whether or not it be your family, whether or not it be, wealth and a divine abundance, are you going to steward it properly this time? So that's important. Stewardship plus discernment plus discipline equals mature and precise decisions. So, give me wisdom to recognize what I prayed for when it returns. That's discernment. And the discipline to handle it better than before. That's stewardship. So, preparedness and not just a blessing. So, know that. A lot of spiritual traditions circle the same truth in different languages. Blessings require capacity, not just desire. Timing matters, but so does character development. What you sustain is often more important than what you receive. And your garden example, like when they talk about the Garden of Eden and all of that stuff, matches exactly that, because you didn't do the right things. We didn't do the right things. And hi, Abby, welcome. She said wealthiest risings. We didn't do the proper things in the garden, and then we got put out. is what they said. So do with that information what you will. So God, just don't give me what I prayed for, make me ready for it, make me able to recognize it and wise enough to keep it. Because I don't want nothing being taken. I don't want to have to give back anything that I'm not ready for. And I want to be prepared for anything that I ask for. And I want to be able to recognize it and know it. And I done said that to y'all before. So whatever it is. So, prayer for wisdom, second chances, and alignment with God's will. God, I come before you with a humble heart, not asking to be made perfect, but asking to be made ready. Thank you for mercy that meets me where I've fallen short, and for grace that does not give up on me, even when I have not always handled what you placed in my hands well. Today I ask for wisdom, not just to receive blessings, but to recognize them when they come, to understand their weight and honor them properly. Teach me discernment so I don't confuse opportunity with distraction or delay with denial. Shape my character so that it can carry what my desires have been praying for. Give me discipline where I have been inconsistent, patience where I have been impulsive, and clarity where I have been uncertain. Lord, if you are giving me another chance, let me not repeat old patterns. Let me grow in awareness, responsibility, and obedience to your timing. Align my steps so that what I pursue is also what you are leading me to. Heal what needs to be healed in me so I don't sabotage what is meant to stay. Remember what no longer serves my growth, even if I have grown attached to it. Remove and remember what I haven't, so that way you know and it goes. Okay, so remove what no longer serves my growth, even if I have become attached to it. And when I have prayed for it, and when what I have prayed for returns, or when new doors open, give me the wisdom to handle it better than before. Let my life reflect growth, not just desire. Let my choices reflect alignment, not confusion. And let my journey reflect your mercy, not just mistakes. In your timing, in your will, and in your wisdom, I trust. I mean. So, being mindful, and that's one of the biggest things. Like, I always am telling God that right now, like me being mindful, and even when it's things that I want but is not in alignment, because that is how the last situation progressed, and played itself out. But this time now, being open and able, ready to hear. You know what I mean? So that's also important, because sometimes we want stuff and God is saying no, and then we do it, and then we wonder why it goes, all discombobulated, because God was already warning you and giving you the message. Sorry. Oh, okay. So there's that. So right now, the collective doesn't need more pressure to be perfect. It needs clarity about what's actually happening inwardly and outwardly. So you are in transition, in a transition season, not a finished chapter. So one, because I told y'all something about a certain date is also important, but it's walking the line. So you know how you go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the evolution of a thing. A lot of people are interpreting instability as failure when it's actually restructuring. Things are shifting. Relationships, priorities, identities, the direction. Transition feels uncertain because the old system is dissolving before the new one is fully formed. Because remember, I told you there's something that's happening, and I'm listening to conversations about people that want to get rid of a person. They want to be able to take the person down, but meanwhile, they can't take the person down because this person is their barrier between, whatever is happening in jail. But meanwhile, they know this nigga ain't right. So, what do you do? Probably should have been the right thing from the beginning, but everybody wanted what they wanted until they realized they don't want that. And that's how certain things be as well. Confusion is not always spiritual. Sometimes it's emotional overload. Not every sign is a message. Some of what feels like divine confusion is actually mental exhaustion, overstimulation, or unresolved emotional weight. Clarity often returns when you simply rest and stop forcing meaning onto everything, because you don't have to, like, everything don't have to mean stuff, but everything means something. So take it how it resonates. It's like the thing, as above so below, as within as so without. And a person, you know how they tell you a tree grows both ways. So as it's growing up, it's also growing down, and also as the top part looks the same as the bottom part. So it's like everything happening all at one time, and then What do we do with that, Lord? What you keep repeating is what you're practicing. So cycles aren't just life happening to you. They're often patterns being rehearsed. The collective is being invited to notice what keeps showing up. What keeps showing up? People, places, things. Circumstances. What keeps breaking down the same exact way? People, places, things. Circumstances. What decisions keep getting delayed? People, places, things. Circumstances. But it's also establishing. It's like the same thing when I told y'all people that's showing up. These people be the same fucking people, same energy, just different face. Same damn test over and over and over again. What did you learn? What have you learned? What are you learning? Earth school, the same exact thing. When the right thing is on the way, so is the wrong thing. So why are you trying to test me with the same exact thing? Because what did you learn? Are you choosing based off of, familiarity because, oh, it looks good, oh, it's this, or oh, it's that, or oh, are you choosing off being materialistic? Are you choosing out of consumerism? Like, what is your pattern? Because that's why a lot of people will always say, like, you meet the same exact person. Like, I keep having the same dealings with the same person, different face, but it gotta be me. So I noticed that, right, on the last situation. Then I said, God, I don't want to do it no more. Like, you choose this time, because, like, I even thought I was choosing different. This nigga ended up worse. Mind you, then I ended up with somebody that I didn't really like looking at, because I'm thinking that I'm doing something different. I'm going to do something different than I did, but not realizing that I was supposed to do something different in the energy. These niggas be the same. I don't like tighty whities. Now you're around here with a nigga with tighty whities because you thought you was doing something different. Meanwhile, the energy was the same. You know. Do with that information what you will. But we have to also know ourselves. Like, recognizing what type of patterns are we creating for ourselves. I like boxer briefs. I like boxers. You know what I'm saying? For me as a woman, like, that's what I like to look at. But just think, for men, like, do y'all like them big ass granny panties? Do you like some thongs? Or do you like, the cute little whatever? But, so now you out here judging bitches off their panties. Do they panties and bras match? Is that important to you? Are you buying them to match? Because it could not be that important if you're paying. Like, so it's a lot of things. He said, oh no, not the tidy whities, period. So it's like, even for a man, like, what do you like looking at? Like, it's a whole list of things, because people fail to realize, like, sometimes our brains will do a thing, like, you can like a person, and then your brain will start trying to figure out ways for you not to like a person, depend upon where you at in this simulation, or what's happening. So it'd be a lot of, I'm gonna be healed and unhealed at the same thing, or I'm gonna be like, I'm just in it to do all the right things. And that's why I keep saying, like, God, take me out of it, because I don't want to have to judge based off of that, because the right thing, shouldn't have on tidy whities. But what if they do? You see what I'm saying? My brain will say automatically, I don't like that. I don't like that. You see what I'm saying? It also has to be the thing, like, Lord, know what I like, because I don't like no nigga that's my size. I'm short. Like, people don't realize, like, I'm short. So that's the thing. If I jump up on them, like, I'm not really that far off the ground. You see what I'm saying? So a nigga gotta be tall. So that way, like, you know what I mean? You jump up on him. He said, I'm a boxer brief kind of guy. That's what I'm saying. I like boxer briefs. I like boxers. Like, I don't want to see no tidy whities. But then sometimes it might depend, because if we doing something a little kinky, like, are you going to wear that little elephant? You see what I'm saying? So, is it going to be fun here? Like, or is it going to be like, are you going to be trying to be drained into my life? Because I don't like drained into my life. But I trust God, so I know God ain't going to bring no drain into my life. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot that even we still have to worry about, even as far as ourselves. Like, how much have we grown? Like, are we gonna be laughing because I like laughter? Like, you know what I'm saying? Is it gonna be an argument over? Like, I'm laughing because I was listening to John Bonet. No, John Bonet. Yeah, John Bonet the other day. No, Eric Bonet. Well, I'm saying John Bonet. John Bonet, the little girl. Well, there's that. I was listening to Eric Benet the other day, and Eric Benet was saying that it's been brought to his attention that his family says that he cussed too much online, right? y'all know what I be saying about cussing. So then Eric Benet says, and some anyway, he kept cussing in the process, but he said fuck it, because if you love me, basically how he was saying. But anyway, the long story short, the shit was funny, and he was still cussing, but he just basically told them fuck them. I like him for that. Like, because we know what we got to deal with. We know what God is already talking about. But if you don't like the fact that I cuss, I ain't for you, because I'm going to try to work it out. I'm going to try to fix it, at some point in time. And also, God is actively working with me on the cuss words, because I know I can't go over here and cuss. But if it's just me and you, I should be able to be cussing. You know what I'm saying? And I'll work it out the way I need to work it out. But this is what I keep saying about even growth. When you with the right energy, like that little petri dish, when the petri dish was reaching out for the petri dish, it literally grew. Like, it expanded based off of the fact that it got with this. And I'm gonna do things that, if you don't like that, then maybe I would kind of curve it because I like you. You see what I'm saying? But that may be the thing that God works or God needs me to do. So God gets you with this, and then all of a sudden now you're not cussing as much because you don't need to cuss as much. This person may expand your vocabulary exponentially. How about that? Period. Because I know some other words, but I'll be liking the cuss words. They quick and they to the point. You see what I'm saying? I can articulate myself very well, but I'll be liking a cuss. So that's also a thing. Abby said, okay, period. You see what I'm saying? So we know some big words. There's some big words in the back room, but them other ones come out quicker, faster, sharper, seasoned, well maintained, um, whatever. Anyway, do with that what you will. I mean, because I can rhyme. So, you know what I'm saying? Once I start dropping bars on them, you know, it just depends on what's happening. Anyway, repeating what shows up. Be mindful of that. It's growth. Growth is required. Growth is requiring discomfort, not punishment. Discomfort right now is not necessarily a sign something is wrong. It's often a sign something is outgrowing its container. People are being stretched beyond old versions of themselves. Because I can think about me way back when I first started, like my platforms and things of that nature, and I can listen to old videos and I'll be like, oh my god, I hate how I sounded right then. Why? Because it was almost like I was trying to watch every word, but also I wasn't sure of really what to say because, this ain't my normal zhush. And so, but I can listen to, and I can tell when a video, like what point in my journey I was at when I did the video. And as to what I was saying and how I was saying it, because, you know, I wasn't really that for sure of what I wanted to say or how I wanted to say it or what the way it would come out or come off. Now I just don't be caring because it's gonna be what it's gonna be. You're gonna get what I got. If you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna have to go to God about it because that's where I'm gonna go. That's all I got. So you don't need more answers, then you need alignment. So a lot of seeking right now is actually avoidance of action. Not every will makes sense. Not everything will make sense. Mind you, I feel like even before, because sometimes I'll be going through phases where I don't know what the hell I'll be reading, but I can read. I promise you. It don't sound like it sometimes. But even like this, because what are you saying, ma'am? you don't need more answers than you need alignment. And I also am better at writing, and this is the other part. So even like going through the way I used to write, and my punctuations are better, and I still may not have them all in the same spot and location, but I do know that my writing is better now than it was before. So, growth and everything else. But the other part is this. My writing is better now, but I do notice that because I was writing how I talk. And from then till now, I actually write the way it's supposed to be more than just how we talk. Instead of saying y'all. You know what I'm saying? Or ain't. Because that ain't right. But it isn't. But it is. All right, so take it how it resonates. Either way, from then till now, I feel a whole lot. I'm getting better. I don't get it right either. That's what I'm saying, and it's like a work in progress. But mind you, this is the other thing. I was listening again because he was saying something about him being 60, right? And so everybody fine as fuck for 60. I ain't gonna lie to you. So that's another thing. That man fine. Anyway, he said he was getting ready to turn 60 this year. And so he was saying like him turning 60, he don't feel 60. He don't look 60 either. That man fine. Anyway, but that's how I felt when I turned 50. It's a thing where it's almost like at 50 I just turned 50, but I swear I feel like I just got here. I just got here, and this is where, like, even being at this moment in time, I don't really want and why today went by so fast. It seemed like the time going by so fast. That's another thing. But at 50, it's almost like starting life over already again, and then it is seeing things in a different perspective and fully new. And then meanwhile, they want to tell you that at certain ages you should be ready to kick the bucket. I don't want to kick the bucket or none of the above. It's more stuff that I want to do, and I'm just thankful at the fact that God keep my mind, because at this point, and my body in good condition and everything else. So please do that, because there's people that be complaining about being 50 or 60 and they ain't got their full capacity. But I don't understand how, like, because I just feel like I just got here. I tell people old is a mindset and don't have it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because I got some stuff that I want to do and I just got here. So to me it feel like maybe 20 or 25, because honestly I feel like I just started learning to use my free will right. And I still don't feel like I got it all the way down pat. But, God, I don't want to be, nowhere. I don't want to be going nowhere up out of here until I learn to use my free will fully. Like, honestly, I want to be able to tap into the system so well that when I say God get them, like, it be today. Like, get they asses, the whole entire crew of them, everybody in the building, get them. And it just go like this. Because I know that it just goes like this. I used to be able to say stuff to the universe, but mind you, I was only saying little stuff that was in my mind capacity, because this was my little area of the world. But now I'm realizing my area of the world is so much bigger. And so, God get them. And the wind just carry it, and they be God. And then all of a sudden everything start moving around to the point where the people that really like being here, the people that want to see the earth, the people that want to go to Timbuktu, the Filipinos, the Thailands, the Chinas, the Asians, the Africans, the da 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 da, everybody that don't want to be here, put their ass on an island, Zen or whatever the hell, or everybody want to act like that. And all of us that know how to act and want to be here and don't want the world to just implode or explode, get to be able to see things, or get to be able to hang out with people, or get to, because I want to build one of them fucking earth ships. Like, I want to do that. I want to be able to go hang out in the desert with all my friends and do desert shit. And even if I don't want to do that for, nothing but a week or two, I want to be able to also go and see, like, some waterfalls come out of some beautiful places with some animals that I ain't never seen that I could be potentially afraid of, but I'm going to do it anyway. Maybe even if I only want to do that for a week. You see what I'm saying? Or a month. I might want to go to a remote island and just be over there and hang it out with, my people or whatever that is for maybe like a month or so until we get tired or whatever. But however it go, just until as long as I feel like it, and then let me go do something else. So if I ain't done that, that mean that at this point I'm talking to God actively that I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair that you know what I'm saying, ain't none of that been able to happen. And for a lot of people, it's not allowed to happen. A lot of people don't even leave, their front porch or their area where they're from or their city or their state. Why? Because it's safer to be right here because, I don't know what y'all people got going on around here and y'all weird as fuck and y'all always want to do something and be in somebody else's business that ain't your business. Like, I just want to do some shit like that. Anyway, simplify your inputs. Too many voices, opinions, and comparisons are diluting the intuition, your intuition, the institution, the collective, the everything. Because everybody want to talk about something. I seen a lady. These people just don't know how to mind their own fucking business. A girl was going door to door doing something. Don't know what the hell she was doing. But she had a permit to do whatever she was doing. Some white lady out of nowhere just decided and said she was going to walk with the lady because she just felt like it. But mind you, wasn't walking to be productive, was walking to be nosy and messy. So if you get a second chance to not be nosy and messy, and you get a second chance to be a better human being, maybe you should try that. That would be great. Because sometimes, other people's business just ain't your business. Alright? So there's a kind of knowing that doesn't need proof to exist. It don't rush, argue, or force itself to be understood. It simply rests within you, steady and unshaken. And even when everything outside feels uncertain, today, trust that kind of knowing. Like, I ain't got to argue with you. A lady this morning, I told you I already had to check a couple people early in the day, right? So some lady, I don't even know who the hell this is, but this lady asked me a question which don't make no fucking sense, but then she tried to make it seem like it was a me problem. So this lady over here named Mai, so I don't know, black bitch, right? So out of nowhere, she proceeds to ask me, she says, "Good afternoon, is this thing still available?" I said, "Yes, I still have it." Mind you, that's on auto, so I never was talking, right? She said, "Do you know what number size it says?" Mind you, the picture, everything is there. The shit say extra large, the pants say extra large. I did my due diligence on take a picture of the fucking shirt and the bottom. It's a brand new set, right? Man's little suit. She said, "Okay, would I be able to come let him try it on?" No. Because if you try it on, this ain't no damn store. Mind you, the shit only $25. That's a nice little suit. No. It's like the lady when everybody called asking about the wedding dress. It's a $4,000 dress. Why would I let you try it on? So then when your big ass rip it or something, then you're going to be looking at me and now I'm stuck with rips and other shit. If you want to try on something, take your ass to the store. And then it's at my house. I don't got nowhere for nobody to try on. So I said, "No, ma'am," right? She said, "Okay, thank you." So right behind that, she says, "Would you be willing to measure it to get number sizing?" I said, "No, ma'am. It's listed correctly. I'm not a seamstress. Because what the fuck do I look like? If I got to go through out of my way to now measure top to bottom, this, that, and the third to try to give you a number size, the price going up, bitch, because it's $25. But I ain't say none of that. I said, "No, ma'am. It's listed correctly. I'm not a seamstress." She said, "I apologize if I offended you. I just don't want to make a drive and purchase it and be out of money. I'm sorry. I hope you have a better day." I said, "My day is amazing," and I wasn't offended. I rebuked the spirit of projection. You have the day you deserve. Go with God, please, and thank you. Because, bitch, who the fuck are you? You trying to get me to jump through hoops for you, and then you're mad because I'm not. I'm not jumping through hoops for you. I listed what I listed. I gave you all the sizes of everything. I did my due diligence, turned it from front, back, side to side to take a picture of it. And then you want me to now do some extra shit. And then you want to now project that I'm having a bad day. Bitch, I'm not going to let you do that. You're going to have to find somebody else to play with because I ain't it. Okay? All right. She said, okay, because she sure did project have the day you deserve. Girl, then let me tell you. So mind you, it wasn't done because this has been the morning. It started off with some BS. That's why I told y'all we be here 9:15 instead of 8:15 because time was flying. Mind you, I woke up early and I was ready to have, the day I deserved. But all of a sudden, time started flying and shit just wasn't right. And I had to reset every device because I kept being told to reset the devices. So I reset the devices and then I just had to keep pushing time back, this, that, and the third. And then shit just started happening. And I wanted to actually take a bath and wash my ass before I came and sat in front of y'all stinking. And I wasn't going to do that. Right? Okay. So then somebody else, and this just be the shit because we have to be mindful that again, a second chance, you asking God for a second chance, it's attitudes, taking care of yourself, not over giving, not overdoing. Cause you ain't gotta go out of your way, and I always have gone out of my way for people. But then I notice people be taking shit too fucking far. Cause why? All right. So then we got another person, for the love of God, and why? Out of nowhere, this person started talking to me yesterday. Mind you, I keep trying to tell y'all I don't like people talking to me. I don't like people talking to me, especially when you just not talking about nothing. Because why are you talking to me, right? So this person says, out of nowhere, she said, yes, speaking my soul today. Yes, I'm trying to tell you. So this person says, please send me descriptions, pictures, and asking prices for the items behind the grill in the last picture. What? So he's commenting on something that he's talking about he wants, but now he done took his eyeballs beyond that. Recommended and restricted and something because redirects. I ain't said nobody to nothing. What is he talking about? TikTok, this is in line with the for you. What the hell are they talking about? They said I sent somebody else somewhere. I don't know what the hell they talking about. So he says, please send descriptions, pictures, and asking prices for the items behind the grill in the picture that you sent, right? I said, what are you actually looking at? Because those items aren't even posted yet, right? Did I just hear the pricing go up? Listen, mind you, his eyes is beyond what is even there. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about, right? So then I said, what are you actually looking at? Because those items aren't posted yet, right? But mind you, just remember how he started off the conversation. He started off with having me fucked up. He said, please send descriptions, pictures, and asking prices for the items behind the grill in the last picture. What the fuck are you talking about? And the audacity, because what the fuck are you talking about? So I asked him what he's talking about. He said, this person says, I understand that I may be early in asking. If you do not mind, will you please send me the descriptions, pictures, and asking prices? Thank you in advance. Perhaps a bundle deal. Oh, you trying to get on my nerves. That's what I thought to myself. You definitely trying to get on my nerves. But then I had to think about it. Like, how we respond to this person. I said, what I'm selling is listed. Thank you. And I just left. Because what you're not going to do is bait me into a conversation to talk to you. And then secondly, I don't want to talk to you because you started off wrong from the beginning. You already try to impose something that ain't you talking about some shit that ain't even talking about right now. Like, why are you talking about stuff that ain't even on the table to be talked about? Mind you, that you didn't ask me in a way that is any of that stuff that's behind you, for sale or any of that? You didn't ask me that. You just instantly talking about I'm supposed to send you description. I'm not sending you shit. Cause what the hell are you talking about? She said just reaching, and he said, right. How did he even know it was for sale in the first place? Like, it ain't even listed for no sale. That's the thing. And it could be listed for sale when I'm ready to. I got shit that's in front of it first that I'm trying to get off of here. But who the fuck are you talking to, Larry? Like, I'm not your child. You're not the boss of me. And you already started off rubbing me the wrong way because you end shit in business that ain't got nothing to do with you. And then got the nerve to talk about a fucking bundle deal. Bitch, ain't no bundle. It's this thing that's right here. Do you want to talk about this? And that's another thing. Trying to redirect you to talk about some shit that ain't even redirectable to talk about. What are we talking about? So this is why we have to also be mindful that there will be people that will be sent, as bots and, whatever the hell else they is, minions. And they will try to, fuck up the system to get you off on a bad foot or get you off in a different direction or move you from this conversation to this conversation. Don't let it happen. And be very mindful because, again, if we already talking about we already, messed it up one time, excuse me, and whatever the situation could potentially or possibly be. You got to remember, it's like the money trick. Somebody will come along and they'll be like, do you got change for 50? And then you give them change for the 50. And then meanwhile, then they start talking to you about different money. And before you realize that you done gave them all your money. And you be out here like, how did I get, they asked me for change for a 50. I gave them the change. But somehow I don't have the 50 either. And then I reached in my pocket and gave them more money. And then you be out of $70 before you realize the nigga done scammed your ass. So let's just be mindful of, staying on task. That's another thing. Because some people are professional scammers and professional liars. And your task is to see it, recognize it, and get them gone. Don't engage. Kick their asses out. So there's a kind of knowing that doesn't just need proof to exist. It just is what it is. Today, trust that knowing. Now, every answer will arrive in words. Some will arrive as peace. Some will arrive as release. Some will arrive as quiet realization that you don't have to keep searching the ways you used to, or you don't have to keep doing the same shit that you used to do. You can ignore some people. No is a full and complete sentence. I don't got to answer you. I don't got to entertain you. I don't got to engage with you. You don't got to feel like you got to go above and beyond in situations that you already know is going to drain your behavior, drain yourself. It's like if you're a hairstylist, right? Whatever business you in, but for some reason hairstylist came up. So if you're a hairstylist and you basically choose, you have a, what's that thing that they give you, fee, the upfront fee that they gotta pay beforehand, and then somebody else coming along. Well, I don't have the, what's it called? I don't have the booking fee, right, to be able to give. Well, you're not getting your hair done. So even in some cases, it be the thing where you be selling yourself short. Raise your prices. God giving you a second chance to be able to do something in a different way. Don't sell yourself short. Ain't nobody better than you. I don't care who it is. You are unique in this situation and in this simulation for a reason, for a purpose. Just because it may be, whatever unique for this reason, why are you unique? Don't sell your gifts short. That's also important. This morning, as I was even listening to this, like going over this, and I'm saying a second chance, wisdom and alignment with God's will, growth, mercy, and a breakthrough, right? Sometimes we be afraid to charge somebody what we worth. Why? When you know you worth it. So if you have a business and God been trying to tell you, like you actually do this and you're very good at it, why are you selling yourself short? Everybody comes to you and asks you for advice. You're the person that everybody goes to. Or a person that's not wanting to start their own business doing something, but you're the person that everybody goes to. So why are you selling yourself short? Why do you don't negotiate on your gifts and your talents? Why are you negotiating on your gifts and your talents? Don't do that. Also, meaning what you say and saying what you mean is very much important. Because a second chance to do something, the very thing that you asked, that you prayed for to do, God giving you grace and mercy in a situation, and then you follow the same blueprint. But you asked for the second chance. You said you was going to do it different. He said, damn, you talking to me. I mean, it's just a fact. Don't sell yourself short. You went through what you went through in order for you to be able to know, that you good at this. Good morning, Cornelius. Good morning. You went through what you went through. You worth it. And if you're not worth it for them, then guess what? Get somebody else, because you don't have to sell yourself short just because it's this. Thank you. So not every answer will arrive in words. So just know that. You're allowed to trust what feels aligned, even if you can't explain it yet. So it might just be something that you just know God is telling you, and other people saying, well, but I would take it as. You're allowed to trust what feels aligned, even if you can't fully explain it yet. You may not know why God telling you that, and then meanwhile somebody else telling you to do something different, but you're saying, no, I'm going to trust what God said. Because I asked God for a second chance at this, to be able to do this, so I'm going to follow the plan. Don't let nobody take you off your plan. Don't let nobody take you off your journey. Don't let nobody say, oh, well, I wouldn't do that if I was you. Well, you're not me, and you don't know how I fought for this. You don't know how I prayed for this. You don't know how God spun the block for me to have a second chance for this. And then I get it. I don't want to mishandle nothing that God is giving me a second chance on. I don't want to mishandle my situation. I don't want to mishandle my time. I don't want to mishandle anybody else's. I want to do it right. So you are allowed to pause without being lost. Pump your brakes. If you ask God for a second chance, you're allowed to, make sure that you're still moving. But okay, I'm going to just do it slow and steady this time. I ain't going to be fast at it. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to take my time with it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to be thankful for it. I'm going to have gratitude in a situation. Because some people don't get second chances, just so y'all know. That's also a blessing all on its own. The fact that God loved you enough to be able to give you a second chance, to be able to spin the block on you and give you knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, give you a second chance on this opportunity, give you another doorway to step through in a better way, in a better light, in a better position. You may not have been ready then, but you know you're ready now, and you're going to make the best of it. So you are allowed to move forward without having every detail confirmed, because you already know God is in it. Once it shows up, you know God gave you the second chance. I don't know what's going to happen next, but God opened the door again. I prayed about it. It's right here. It's presented in my face, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not afraid because God opened the door. Knowing is not always loud certainty. It's often calm recognition because God opened the door. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody anyway. That's the other thing, because some of this stuff comes along when somebody's asking questions. I don't have to explain myself to you about why I'm doing this. I don't have to explain to you why I'm restarting something that I, failed at the first time. I don't have to explain to you why this person or this situation or this opportunity, or I don't have to explain to nobody why. I already talked to God about it. So I don't have to talk to you about it. The answer is God did. That period. God did, definitely. I told you, DJ Khaled, he was right. God did. Remember, he kept saying that he was doing enough to where he probably was getting on people's nerves because that he was with the God did, but God did. And then he did some bullshit. So he did all that, and then now you got them people on your ass. Do the right thing, even in the process. And this is the other thing. Be mindful of the trap where everything opens, the doors open. God put you in a location, opportunity, situation, simulation, whatever. God opened the door, and now you here, and then the trap comes. Be mindful of that, because we still in the same test, still in the same simulation, still in the same, and then so God opens the door, and then now you fall victim to some other weird shit. Like, don't do that. Because mind you, know once that door swings open, that opportunity is presented itself, or that situation is presented itself, know that you got new enemies, you got new what does it say? More money, more problems, but not even that. It is don't let nobody make you don't let nobody bring you back down to levels that you've leveled up from. So new levels, new devils. Know that it ain't gonna stop. So the door opens, you still on your journey. You still gotta put in work for that thing. You still gotta be diligent. You still gotta pay attention. You still gotta be aware. She said, "What? Keep your dignity and morals intact. Period. Don't get caught slipping. Because new levels, new devils. They gonna try it because they want to send you packing right out that door. So be mindful also to keep your head on a swivel because everything is now being tested. Everything's being tested. So once you walk through that door, now you got some new shit on your ass. They gonna try to, manipulate the situation. Oh, you can cut corners by doing this. No, I can't. God is watching. Like, that's my answer for everything. Like, even when I told you about the situation, person said, can you do this because da-da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, I need the money. I gotta go fund me still. So I definitely need the money. But guess what? I don't need it that way. I have to wait until God sends it. So if God is watching, and I know God ain't going to send that, God don't even want that near me, God is watching. That's my cue and that's my key. So to most people, that's probably how I keep passing also. Because if I know God is watching, that's why I keep telling people, if God watching, I don't give a damn what you think. Most people is worried about what the people think. They're not worried about what God think. Because, they're going to have to deal with that later. No, I be dealing with that shit now. God watching. So since God watching, I can't do that. Mind you, on top of that, I know I'm going to already get my ass handed to me real quick anyway. So that's the reason why I ain't going to do it. So we have to be mindful. God is always watching. Morals are important in your phase. Like she said, dignity, morals, values. Keep your dignity intact. So knowing is not always loud certainty. It's often calm recognition. The right direction will not always feel exciting, but it will feel clear. The right truth will not always be new, but it will feel familiar in your spirit. And the right timing will not always feel fast, but it will feel right. Especially when you in it, it'll feel right. And mind you, a lot of people, y'all have been waiting for, opportunities and everything already. So it may have taken you a long time to even get here to the opportunity. She said, and period. We just got here. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just got here to some things, and then you want me to mess it up and damage it with some fast shit. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to take my time and enjoy it. Take your time, young man. Mama used to say, don't you rush to get old. And mind you, do not forget, y'all, it's 11/11. And do not forget at all, period.
Whoever finna fuck you finna put power back into who you are.
Power, period. Don't forget it. Take your time, young man. Mama used to say, don't you rush to get old, period. You are so right about the time. I was on time, but now I need to be out the door. But here I am. I mean, we're gonna do what we need to do. Let's be where we need to be on time, okay? Because you heard what the lady said. All right, it's important. Mind you, didn't keep giving me power. She got that power. Period. Mind you, just know that. It is what it is, okay? So take your time. Take your time, young man. Mama used to say. She said, and Chico, hold on, let me see. My pen then fell out. And Chico, I was just telling Ty how these messages hit. Yep, she was saying that yesterday. So here we are. The right direction will not always feel exciting, but it will be clear. The right truth will not always be new, but it will be familiar in your spirit. And the right timing will not always be fast, but it will feel right when you're in it. So you are not behind, you're not confused beyond repair. You are becoming more aware of what you already knew beneath the noise. So let let what is true settle in, let what is not fall away without resistance. And the truth is, what is meant for you will not require you to abandon your inner knowing, like I said the other day, because this ain't new, all the same exact thing. What is meant for you will not require you to abandon your inner knowing to receive it. But also, the message the other day was, what is meant for you will not require you to abandon yourself either in order to receive it. Point blank, period. Because, like I said, a lot of this shit be the same exact stuff. Reworded differently, but it's the same exact program. Today, honor the quiet wisdom within you. It has been guiding you for longer than you realize it. But mind you, again, depending upon how long you've been on your journey or how long you've been doing whatever you've been doing, here we are. So take your time, young man. Mama used to say. Period, Chico. So in your decisions, I want to say shows. Knowing shows up as simplicity, not overthinking every option, but noticing when it still feels aligned after noise settles. So you stop asking, "What if I'm wrong?" Because so the fuck what? You could potentially be. But you could potentially be like on 10 to your highest, best self, best life, best situation, best circumstances, best, and best. What's the worst that could happen? You start asking, does this feel honest to who I'm becoming? That's what's the most important part. Because is it helping you become a better you? That's the best thing. Confusion shrinks when you stop negotiating with what you already know, because you already know. God already told you. Situation already told you. Your feeling already told you. Intuition already said yes, 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 or no, 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 no. We say no, 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 no. We say yeah, 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 yeah. Period. Y'all, because it be the songs that come every time I be hearing this shit. She said, if you want to be with me, you got to keep it real. So tell me what's going on. Tell me how you feel. Period. Y'all, don't ask me. It just be the things. Like, that's how it be coming. So, it says, in relationships, no one becomes discernment without force. Period. Because what you got to force it for? We ain't gotta force it. We ain't gotta do it. We could just get it done. We could just get it done. All right. So then it says, you can feel when something is mutual versus when something is one-sided, and period. And people be knowing it. It's like when that lady said, how come every time I have to ask you to do da 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 da, or when it's my birthday, you never have anything for me, this, that, and the third. And then she wants to get on social media and think that we supposed to feel sorry for her. But bitch, why are you telling us? The answer has already been given. You saying it, you regurgitating it, you repeating it out your mouth, but now you over here thinking we supposed to help you or we gonna give you some sympathy. No, you already know the answer because you telling us. You no longer over explain your value because what I tell you, we already said it. So we just only going over this again, but sometimes it has to be in the system for us to know. Don't undervalue yourself. Don't over explain your value. It is what it is. If you want it, then you can have it. This is what it's going to cost you, though. And vice versa. And if you agree, then, we can sign on the dotted line and keep it pushing. But if you don't agree and I don't agree, then we don't agree and we can go on and kick rocks, everybody. And it's going to be okay because guess what? It ain't only the only opportunity that's going to ever come in life, just so y'all know. But guess what? This the one you want. Take it how it resonates. This the one that's in alignment with you. Take it how it resonates. You stop trying to earn consistency from people who are inconsistent. I just told you about the lady. Came over here harassing us on social media, dragging us into some bullshit. Well, meanwhile, the nigga done already told her. And then I said, people don't like to listen. Why y'all don't like to listen? The man said this, but meanwhile, here you go. But they meant this. No, they said what they said. You just don't like to listen. And then you be mad at us when shit go all discombobulated. I don't know what to tell you. They already said that. You didn't listen. So, peace replaces chasing. It's not cold, it's clarity. Period. In your emotions, no one shows up as emotional honesty instead of emotional reaction. You recognize when something is triggering an old wound. So I'm listening to this thing, and this lady says that she the therapist told her, mind you, this was another nigga therapist. They asked her to come in. So when the therapist comes in, when the person comes in, the therapist tells her, get a divorce, leave this nigga. So this person is saying, should I tell on the therapist? But you can't tell on the therapist because the therapist is actually doing what the therapist's job is, and you just don't want to listen. But the therapist is allowed to say it, especially if they trying to tell you that your safety is now at hand or at risk. And then you want to ask if you want to tell on the therapist, but meanwhile, bitch, they trying to save your life. So they can't tell you, what's happening, but they can tell you, run. And you want to get the therapist in trouble because the therapist is telling you that your shit is fucked up. I don't understand. But anyway, do with that information what you will, but that's what happened. Knowing shows up as emotional honesty instead of emotional reaction. You recognize when something is triggering an old wound. Like, I don't like asking people. I don't like people asking me shit. And then I told y'all that I started to realize that it's only the people that I be thinking it ain't their business as to why you asking me. Then I started to realize, like, when you like somebody, it is this. Like, you overshare maybe, but when you don't, you kind of are guarded in your responses and your actions and the behaviors. So then it made me, start to pay attention even to that, because when a person wants to do stuff for you, they in love with you, they like you. When they stop wanting to do that and then they start talking to you crazy, it's time for you to start paying attention to the spark has gone. Yup. You paused instead of spiraling because now you're actually actively paying attention and it's not causing you to, be crazy anymore, however that goes. But now you're actively being a willing participant in your own life. Ain't that beautiful? Yeah. Because I tell y'all that only because of when the situation happened and God said run. And mind you, I didn't ask questions anymore, but then I started to realize, like, you've been overly doing too much any fucking way. And this person just been able to just chill watching you run around in circles, do. Mind you, that should have been your cue any fucking way. But why did you wait so long? And then I started thinking about it. Like, why did I? But sometimes we don't see it until, God comes along and God says, run. And then you start analyzing a bunch of shit like, this was already going left, but why didn't I do anything? Why was I not paying attention? You stop becoming your emotions and you start observing them. I definitely been involved in that. Like, I definitely started to pay attention because, like, what the fuck? You ain't no fucking go along to get along ass bitch. You ain't no overly, like, I ain't never been like in no relationship or any of that where I felt like I was less than the person. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, so then when you start actually noticing and seeing yourself, you start to think, like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, ain't nobody all that to the tune of you was extrally actively going out of your way when a person was being fucking weird with you. And we be giving people the benefit of the doubt. And that's the other thing. We got to be mindful and start clocking it for what it is. So you know how they be like clock that shit from the beginning. And let them know. And then give them the opportunity if they want to change it. But what we not going to do is keep going back down the same hill and you thinking that I'm going to keep, overly doing anything for your bitch ass. Because it ain't that type of party. Everybody is needed here. God giving you a second chance. This time do it the right way. Okay? What did you learn in the relationships? What did you learn in the situations? What did you learn, going throughout? And mind you, sometimes I hate to tell y'all, like, even when I be talking about this shit be embarrassing. Because I know I'm better than that. But meanwhile, what the fuck was I thinking? Mind you, I don't even care because if I can help somebody else know not to go through this shit or pay attention and know your worth, like, and I ain't never been like a person that think that I want to let a nigga run all over me and this, that, and the third ever. So what was different like about the situation. But like I said, even talking about it to other people, now maybe can help somebody else. But just so y'all know, shit's fucking embarrassing. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. But it's just when you think about it, because I love him, and you could be thinking that you love him or you love her, or you can love this situation, or you can love the everything that's being done, but love yourself more, to not let nobody play in your fucking face. So this time, do it better. Don't ever put nobody in a situation above God, because God will always let you know. And that's why even when God said run, it didn't take me that much. It didn't take me that long to run, because I know God loved me and God trying to save me from something, regardless of the fact of whether or not you liked it, you don't like it, da 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 da. But be mindful that, like, don't let nobody ever be put over God before, like, in you. And that's important. And sometimes people just be wanting to be in relationships, or they just like a person, or they just like something. But mind you, a person that is loving God and the same for you, so vice versa. A person that is loving God in a way that is supposed to be, will make sure they take care of you because they love God. And so that was one of the recollections that I had to come to, even for myself, because I'm saying spiritually, it was certain things that I already knew was like out of whack, even with the, like, talking too loud and getting on my nerves. So just know that a person that loves God above and beyond will love you like you supposed to. They not gonna play with you, because they know God ain't gonna play with you, with them, with you. Okay, so that's the thing. So in your purpose and your direction, knowing becomes quite certain. Knowing becomes quite a certainty about next steps, not whole path. So you may not know the full plan, but you know the next aligned step. You stop demanding full visibility before movement. Clarity often comes after obedience, not before it. So this is basically the next phase of when I said, God, I don't clearly I don't know how to do it, right? So I'm going. Why did you scroll on your own? I don't know how to do it, so I'm gonna let God do it, right? And so then I said that I would marry somebody like right away, like because I ain't nobody's girlfriend. Like I don't want to be your girlfriend. I ain't no your girlfriend. I'm a wife, right? And so, would you marry somebody that you don't know? I'm going to. Why? Because I knew somebody for so many years since I was 17, still got fucked over. So this time it's a difference in how things get done, but it doesn't matter. So a person could know somebody less than a week and they still not play with you or play about you. Somebody could know you 20 something years and play with you and play in your face and everything else, and the shit still go in all the wrong directions. So to me, the timing is not about how long you know somebody. The timing basically is God's timing. It's divine timing. It is, you don't know the plan, I don't know the plan, but I know that God got you here and God got me here, and this is what we gonna do. And whether it work or not, guess what, it still ain't gonna matter, based off of the decision and the fact that I known somebody for 20 something years or more than 30 something years, and it still didn't fucking work. So I don't have to see the full picture of anything. Are we going to agree on something? And he said, I married my ex within 2 months and it lasted 13 years. You see what I'm saying? So people will say, well, oh, you have to get to know a person, instead of, you never really going to get to know a person, because people would be lying. And so this is the agreement. Do we agree on this? Is this what you're gonna give me? Like, when somebody actually, the agreement, and it don't. Oh, so a man was showing it yesterday, right? And he was talking about how marriage is. How did he explain it? Where is it at? Did I keep it? Because it talks about the marriage model, like when you get married through the state, and so it says you get married, it's like a triangle. Mind you, the wife and the husband never connect, is how he was putting it, how he was showing it. And even when you want to deal with the person, if you have to go through the state to deal with the person. When you want to separate from them, you got to deal with the state to go to the person.
Diagram is from the United States Patent and Trademark Office.
Oh, he said marriage has a patent and trademark. Mind you, that's the other thing.
Print of a marriage. Did you know the states patented a marriage?
So, in the patent of a marriage, that's what it was talking about. I can't play this because it got something there. But it talks about, the state, and then it has the man here and then the woman here. So, you go into the agreement with the state, and the person goes into the agreement with the state. Y'all never are connecting because the agreement is with the state, and then you still have to deal with them. But mind you, it's under a patent with them. So, never doing that anyway again. And like I said, contract is... you do this, I do this, I don't do this, I don't do this, or you don't do this. This is how it's going. Then we get separated based off of this, but it's going to cost you even, whatever it is, you, me, everybody, from the beginning based off of how we go into this. So that's also a thing to be mindful of. Be a woman or a man of your word. That's what's important. How about that? That's always the key. So that's where that comes from. Because I don't have to know. And clarity often comes from obedience, not before it. So God was showing me even in the process, like, you wanted this, but look what it profited you. Nothing. Took all your shit. That tripped me out. Yeah, like, it don't make sense. So a person say, oh, well, you don't know this person. Well, clearly I ain't know that nigga either after 30-something years. That's weird. So don't fucking matter. More than half of my life. But what does it matter? Any of them. You know what I'm saying? All of them. So it don't matter. In my mind, that's where I'm at with it. And like I said, in your habits and discipline, knowing shows up as what you no longer argue with. Like I told y'all about, I'm not going to argue with nobody about religion. I'm not going to do that. I don't have to. I'm not going to argue about nobody's status and where somebody wants to be. I'm not doing that. So you stop debating what drains you. Because what we arguing about it for? I like results. Let's get to how we fix something. I don't care about dwelling in the whole, like, oh, you, like, pointing fingers. I don't give a fuck about that. That's weird to me. Like, how we going to fix this? And if we can't, then how we going to go about you being peaceful and me being peaceful and you not fucking with me? Please. Because I ain't going to fuck with you. You recognize what builds you. People, places, opportunities, situations. Because some people, you don't even realize, she says, solutions driven, period. Like, I don't care about, like, we get what happened. Okay. Now, can we fix this shit or can we not? Like, that's all I'm worried about. Like, how do we make this shit better? I don't care about all the argument and shit in between. Like, when I was young, that might have been, oh, we da-da-da. Like, I don't care now. Like, mind you, I haven't cared since probably 30-something. Like, by the time I got 30, I don't want to argue with nobody about, okay, what's the problem? Like, let's get to the solution. Once we know the problem, what's the solution? We can't keep arguing about the fucking problem. You don't like me, I don't like you. What's the fucking solution? Everybody go their own way. Good. How do we go our own way? This, that, and the third. I don't agree with that. This, that, I don't argue with that. Like, people just don't, like, life is easy. People be making this shit hard. Because they be wanting you to do some shit that they not willing to do themselves. And that's not a good leader to me. So, let's not do that. And then here we are. Back in the same fucking position. I ain't doing it. I don't care and I don't want to. Get somebody else to do it. I'm not even going to be mad. That's the other part. People be thinking, well, oh, if I get somebody else to do it, good. Because I already know they ain't going to get shit but this. I don't care. Like, people are never going to grow past this. They don't have the capacity to do it. Because if they did, you wouldn't be that old and that dumb already. What you want me to do? Like, if God ain't did it, then I don't know how you want me to did it. I can't. If God did it for you, I can't did it for you. It ain't gonna work, alright? I have come to that conclusion. I'm a miracle worker, but that ain't when I can work, okay? That's out of my scope of things that I'm willing to do. Like, get God to do it, because I ain't it. And then people be mad at you. Oh, you're supposed to fight with me for this. I don't want to. I think that's dumb. Like, why are we going to fight over that when it could be so simple? Why would we have to be fighting when we could be doing something that's so much more loving involved in it? Like, some people just really want to argue and fight with you. That's love to them. Like, I got so much more shit I can show you that's love. And I don't know what your parents did and what they taught you, but I seen a lot of arguing. That's why I don't want to argue. Abby said I can't did it either. Period. Like, I seen so much arguing when I was younger. Like, that's why I made the decision. Like, I don't want to argue. Like, I can, and I'm good at it. But why I need to argue with you? Like, we could be doing something else. You know what I'm saying? I don't want beef with you. I love you too much. So, in that case, what you want me to do? I love you. I don't want to argue with you. I want to make you feel good. I want to make you happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you wish for me to do that's going to shut you the fuck up? That's what I want. She said, what'd you say, Abby? Results driven. What's going to get you to shut the fuck up? What I need to do? Please. Thank you. All right. Trusting your intuition. No one feels like you can't even explain it. Like, you just know. But something in you says, pay attention, pause. Later life confirms what you already felt. Intuition isn't like, it's just a consistent thing. And trusting it is important. Trusting your intuition. Like, when you know somebody gonna just be a problem in a situation, trust that. Know that. Like I told y'all with the people. Whoever came in the other day and started saying something. Instantly, what I tell you. Mike, be on guard because we about to block this bitch. I can feel it in my spirit. What happened? Got blocked. Intuition is consistent. These people just be on the same exact motherfucking thing. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. Knowing becomes an inner alignment and truth over performance. So less pretending, less spiritual pressure to feel right all the time because we don't have to be right. That's the other part. People be so mad that you don't want to argue with them because nobody has to be right in this situation. And sometimes it isn't a right or wrong thing. It's just the way you feel, the way I feel, and that's it. That's all. Like, let's make it good. Let's make it great. Let's make it amazing. It don't have to be like a person, oh, you just want to be right. I don't have to be right. Like, that's not even important on the list. Is this a good situation? More honesty with God about where you actually are. More trust in God. Being guided. Not performing perfection. They better know because you got snipers over here. And period. And I was talking to my neighbor and I told him this was a couple weeks ago and that's what he said. Because I said, why do people, like, they be showing this. Like, people want appreciation or they want public recognition for being a good person, but meanwhile behind the scenes they not right. And Abby said and do and period. And that's what he said. He said the same exact thing. They're performance driven. Like, it's like a show. I want it to be real. Like I told y'all, like, you can see where certain relationships are. Like, they'll be saying, oh, we so in love. Meanwhile, this nigga be sitting like 30 feet away from this bitch. You don't love her and he don't love you. Like, y'all not even liking each other in the same energy. Because why are you over here and they over there? Like, it's a thing where you could tell when certain people are in love. Like, you could just see it. Not that I'm just tolerating this relationship or you just tolerating this relationship. It's a thing. It's like the skin that you in says, I love the skin that they in. But if God giving you a second chance and you out here perpetrating a fraud, you can't hide from God. So know that. In your peace, none is what remains when everything else is uncertain. So, like, peace is priceless. And sometimes people will think, okay, well, I could just be around here and we just gonna be. Some people will sit in your face just to create chaos, to not let you have no peace. So you can't be nowhere else with nobody else that got peace. Like, I be listening to so many women these days, and I feel really, really bad. Because it seemed like a lot of them are wanting to be by themselves because whoever they was with just didn't give them peace, and so they would rather choose to be alone over knowing that they could find peace and still be with somebody that is their physical partner, somebody that has the same, likeness, same mindset, same thinking, same, and they want to be there. But a lot of people are really like, I don't want to use the term jaded, but maybe that's the right word, jaded to the point where they don't even want to go where it's going to take them to even find or be with that person that's going to find them. Like, and that's sad, because I'm telling you, that's one of the biggest lies, and that's one of the biggest mistakes that masculine and feminine are going to make in this lifetime, not finding or not being with the person that was meant for you to be with, and allowing an experience to corrupt your love so much to where you just go hide. Sometimes it's just meant for us to know. Sometimes these lessons are meant for us to, make sure that we know that we don't end up with this for, forever in a lifetime, but also just having the experience and not, not giving ourselves our energy into the world. So, do with that information what you will. None is about having everything figured. None is not about having everything figured out. It's about becoming less willing to betray what your inner clarity already told you, what you already know. And so, God, I acknowledge that I may not have always recognized or handled what you placed in my life correctly. Um, and saying that I want a second chance to be able to do anything that God has allowed me or that God wants me to do or that's in alignment right now. So a second chance, wisdom, and alignment with God's will for anything and everything that, God allows me to. Growth, mercy, and a breakthrough, all on the same line. So shifting in identity from defense to reflection. This is also being self-aware. And what was we talking about the other day? It was accountability. This is a lot of what all of this is being accountable in parts of life. And I want to say, because when I was thinking to this, it had to do with when I said about the 13 colonies, right? When the beginning, me being from Delaware, and if my people, and this could be, through lineage, through inheritance, through bloodline, if my people were the people that allowed these people to get a foothold in here, I felt responsible, but I also feel responsible in also fixing it. If God allows me to be able to fix it in this generation, and it's probably going to take me and some more other people, coming together, this and a third, but if God allows me to fix it, or if God was bringing me here for me to fix it, I want to have this moment, this opportunity. And a lot of us don't even realize that generational curses, breaking the generational curses, this is God giving us a second chance. So I know it, goes into the most minute thing, but it goes into, it's embedded into your spiritual identity so deep that some of us don't even realize that this lifetime is a second chance, that God gave us a second chance to get something right that we didn't do at a different point in time. And so with that being said, if I missed it or mishandled it, I ask your mercy, not because I deserve it, but because you're gracious. And so, God willing, I'll be able to, be able to do that thing. And if you allow it again, give me the wisdom to recognize it clearly and handle it righteously, because I also don't want to do the wrong thing based off of revenge and envy because somebody treated me a certain type of way, even in this lifetime, that we are the generation that steps up and does it the right way. Shape my character so I don't repeat what I've learned, but grow from it. Even what they showed me, what they have done to us. So there are two types of experience: experience you repeat, experience you evolve from. So we want to ask God to evolve from it. New thinking, new decisions. let your will be done in our life, and help us trust the timing of God, God's timing, that process over our emotions. Even though people treated us this way here, we doing it better, doing it differently, but also in alignment, and that's what's important. So, clean perception, humility, emotional healing, mercy, correct timing, recognition, pattern breaking growth, transformation, and relinquishing the control and surrendering to God, and us being allowed to, do the thing that maybe the hard thing. People, places, opportunities. So, God, make me honest about where I've been, humble about where I am, and wise about where I'm going. If you grant me another chance, don't just restore what I had, transform who I am so I can recognize it, handle it, and honor it properly. And if I don't understand the timing, help me to still trust your process. I mean. And with that being said, that's the message. Hopefully it helps. Thank you guys for being here. I hope I delivered that, the way I should have. And also, if you wish to donate towards my channel, like, comment, share, subscribe. That will help my channel. I'm trying to get into the systems. If you also wish to donate, it is super stars, super stickers, super chats. She said, I mean, period. And gifting, definitely welcome. If you haven't donated towards my GoFundMe, please do so if you're led to that. And all the links are in the bio. So do with that information what y'all will. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for being a friend. Dun, dun, dun. Travel